episode 7 of the Blake Chancey podcast. I've got Dr. Drew Jamieson on today. He is a naturopath, a world traveler, a great guy, and I'm excited to have you on, man. Thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Sweet. So what were your most recent travels, man? Where have you been?
We just got back last week. We were in Europe, so we did a medical conference in Germany. Mm-hmm. But that was only 3 days worth, so we knew when we were going to go somewhere else because we like to just, tack something else on while we're doing a bit of work travel.
Yeah.
And so we looked at the weather, and I'm sure most of you know by November, Europe's pretty cold. So we were keeping an eye on a couple spots south of Spain, as well as we ended up going to Cyprus because it held off. There was a lot of storms and rain and just cold happening throughout the continent. So it was still 28 degrees by the time we got there.
Nice.
28 degrees in November and probably one of the best beaches I've ever seen. And cool thing about Cyprus is it's just a mix of a bunch of stuff. You got the Middle Eastern influence, you got the Greek and the Turkish thing going on there, and it's still part of Europe politically. So it was like a true crossroads and a mishmash of a bunch of different stuff. And there's castles and ruins and amazing food. And I was having like Freddo cappuccinos every day, which for anyone listening, if you ever go to that region of the world, whether it's Greece or Cyprus, like get a Freddo cappuccino. It's the best coffee I've ever had. And I've gone like all 4 corners of the earth trying to find a better coffee, and I haven't been able to do it. So that was a wonderful escape. And then we did a medical sports specific conference in Germany, and they're just always like ahead of things with the latest, greatest as far as like rehab, research, treatments, all kinds of cool stuff we learned there, and just meet some people doing some different things on the other side of the world. So it was a quick European trip, and then we did some Christmas markets in Germany, and then back home last week to work for another 3 weeks before, I guess, the next getaway over Christmas.
Sweet. Yeah. You're a guy that works so hard when you're here and loves to take off as much as he possibly can, right? Like I see you and Amber, it's like, okay, we're back in the clinic for the next 20 days. Make sure you book in while we're here. We're going to be gone again. So this medical event that you were at, anything notable? Anything?
Yeah, it was pretty good as far as like there was a lot of Achilles updates for tears and tendinitis. Yeah. Bunch of stuff on ACLs and knees, which was interesting. There was talking about saliva testing, stem cells, PRP, a lot of the stuff I'm into. Yeah. Because when I think of what I'm trained in, I would say I borrow a lot of my background and knowledge from European, Asia, Eastern medicine type stuff. So they're kind of speaking my language anywhere over there. But when it comes to Germany, I think there's just a bit more advancement with certain surgeries and stuff. I do have a lot of patients that have gone over there for procedures that are just not available in Canada and North America. And then they go over there and then they get the cutting edge treatments. So it was cool as far as like business write-off too. We could take care of some of the flights and hotels that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're also quite the flight hacker.
Yeah.
Like you guys are always looking at it almost as like a second time job. You're always tracking flights, prices, everything's like that, trying to use points. And who's the guy that you kind of base this off of? He's got an Instagram account, right?
I'll give him a shout out.
Yeah.
Even though I'm still waiting for my shout out all these years later. But Ricky through Prince of Travel has been instrumental in helping me points hack, travel hack, and just travel better and smarter. A lot of people see what we do and they're like, how are you doing that? And I'm like, you have to get into the points game if you want to travel more or do it better. Yeah. Because we'll be in seats on airplanes that they've never seen before. And I'm like, yeah, these are like $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 seats. Like, who's paying that? I'm sure someone is, but we're trying to keep as much as we can. So part of it is offsetting it with points. And then we'll stay at category 7 and 8 hotels for free.
Okay, what's a category 7 or 8 hotel to a newbie like me?
Just understand that a category 1's not very good.
Okay, yeah. So it's like a 5-star.
Totally. Yeah. Where you sometimes might get a butler, you're going to get free breakfast, there's going to be a spa on site, there's going to be an incredible pool, it probably has beach access, or maybe it's an overwater villa. Yeah. Those are category 7s and 8s. Whereas like a category 2 would be like, by the airport. Right. Just some little motel, no amenities, nothing fancy, probably no gym. Might have to pay to park the car, just like all kinds of stuff extra when you're in a category 7 or 8. Yeah. But again, when you look at the price points on a lot of those, they're out of reach for most people, especially for a family. Like, how are they going to go spend $800 or $1,000 a night? But with points, you can offset it. And it's like, okay, instead of 1,000, you'll just do like 70 or 100,000 points. And it's like, once you understand how to generate points and use them to your advantage, you look at travel very differently. And so we'll offset costs. Sometimes I'll run a rack rate when we do a 2-week vacation and it would have cost us like 25 grand. But what we actually paid was more like 10 or 12.
That's pretty good.
So when people say, oh, you're just saving a few $100, I'm like, no,
No.
you're saving like significant amounts of money that then you can now use that extra 10 or 12 to do another trip.
Yeah.
So it actually doubles your potential with trips, and you do it with more luxury. And I know not everyone wants that. Some people are like, I don't care about that. Well, maybe you want a better flight, or maybe you want a better hotel, or maybe you just want a little extra money when you're there.
Yeah.
Either way, it makes all that possible. And it just depends what you want. But lately, it's more the flights for us. We've done a lot of the bucket list, I would say, hotels and resorts around the world.
Yeah.
There's still always more popping up, but we've done a lot of the cool stuff that we always wanted to do. So now it's more about flights and new locations.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are really diving into everything about the travel aspect, like the planes, the hotels. Like you guys are so knowledgeable about all those things, and you're always storying your trips too, which I love to follow along with. You're, bringing out fun facts about penguins in Antarctica, the history over there. You're diving into the culture, the food scene, everything like that.
All the stuff I never used to care about as a kid, I'm just like a geek with now.
Yeah.
All of it. And it's the culture, it's the food, it's the history, how it came to be, the people, ancient ruins, churches, cathedrals, all this stuff I never would have like taken a second look at. And now it's like, that's all I want to do. Climb this castle, go see that.
Yeah.
But it is like a full-time job to research the stuff, to find flights, find deals, get hotel redemptions, accumulate points. Like, it's like a whole side hustle and part-time job. And in my wife's case, more like a full-time job. She might do some flight searching in the morning and the evening.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like an extra hour or two a day of research. So these don't just fall in your lap. You kind of have to follow a process and a plan.
Yeah.
Be patient, be flexible with your dates. And like anything, it gets easier as you go. But at first, it's like trying to drink water out of a fire hose. It's just impossible. It's coming at you so fast, you can barely get a drop of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to your original question. Ricky helped me a lot. There's now a new company on the scene, Frugal Flyer.
Okay.
And so it's another Canadian travel hacking company. And so my brother actually works with them because he's more of a genius with this than even I am, believe it or not.
Really?
People will see what I do and they're like, oh man, you're so good with this. I'm like, you should see my brother. He is a crazy like genius mastermind with it. He taught us everything. Yeah. Back in 2019, he told us to get an American Express card.
Yes.
Because he's like, you and Amber travel a lot. You could be doing it better. He's like, get an American Express card. And I was like, why would I want an American Express card? It's a US card. Like, I'll just use my Canadian cards. I didn't even know there was an entire network of cards in Canada. American Express. They have what's called membership rewards points. When you spend on them, you get MR points. You can use them for flights and hotels. Yeah. Very simple. Yeah. But the cool thing is they transfer everywhere. So if you want to use them for Merit, or you want to use them for Hilton, or you want to use them for this airline or Air Canada or this or that, like they just can go anywhere you want them to. So understand they're so strong, much stronger than a TD, CIBC, or RBC Avion point. Nothing wrong with those. We use them all. We use and abuse them all, I'll say. But really, Amex is king. And then I would put like Avion, RBC number 2. We use those the most and they pay the most back. And it's been like a complete game changer. So when he told me to get that card in 2019, the rest is history. And we each hold now anywhere between like 8 or 10 active credit cards at a time in my wallet. My wife does the same. We play a 2-player game where we refer each other cards.
Yes.
We pool the points within the household. Yeah. So it's like I'll move points into Air Canada. Aeroplan, she'll do the same. So we grow the pot together. And the 2-player game and the synergy is really important.
Yeah, it's funny. You're actually the reason why I got into the Amex game because I think it was while we were at dinner a couple years ago in Tawasin here with the 4 of us. And we were talking about points and I had a TD Visa Infinite card. And like I was getting nothing out of there. I got like 1 or 2 all-inclusive trips to Mexico after being in real estate for 12 years and running all of my expenses through there. Like it was garbage. Sure. And now that I have the Amex Platinum, it's like I get access to every single lounge when I'm traveling. You know, you're saving just on those alone, you're saving $20 to $100 on food. You got a place to sit and hang out, bring out your laptop, do some work in. So I've been seeing the points on that, and Courtney and I are definitely gonna try to utilize that. We're kind of waiting to see when these other places have better benefits where you can use your Amex points to then transfer them to the different point system and then kind of leverage those. Cause sometimes it's like a 2-for-1 or 1.5x to
transfer
1.
bonus.
Yeah.
So they'll have transfer bonuses throughout the year where it's like now if you transfer, you'll get 30% more. Yeah. So we usually wait because we'll use RBC Avion points and move them over to British Airways Avios. And sometimes there's a 30% transfer bonus. And people listening might be like, well, why do I want British Airways Avios points? Like,
when am I going to use it?
When am I going to use that? Yeah. Well, if you fly out of the major airports, you can redeem for a British Airways flight, number 1. But much like Aeroplan, British Airways Avios has a ton of partners. And same thing with Aeroplan. People are like, I hate Air Canada. I'm like, so they have like 30 partners of other airlines that you can redeem through Aeroplan. So don't be so like, I guess, narrow-minded with it. You have to understand that these programs connect you to tons of options.
Which I think most people have no idea.
No clue.
Yeah. Like I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like British Airways Avios has a ton of good partners. They have like Aer Lingus, they have Qatar, they have Finnair. So like you can redeem a ton of different ones over there. Yeah. And then Aeroplan's got a whole bunch, like I said, 30 plus. And then there's Flying Blue, which is KLM Air France. And they have a whole bunch of partners. So once you start to get a handle on one, you can look at the others. But those are the big three we play with. And we have credit card points to transfer to all of them. Yeah. But you're right. You have to know about the transfer bonuses. You have to know about, is it a US or a Canadian point that'll transfer better? And that's a whole nother ball of wax trying to get a US card. Yeah. But I'm just giving people a taste of like, the sky's the limit. But starting with Amex, understanding that grabbing welcome bonuses on credit cards will give you tons of free points. So you can easily and safely get a new card every 3 to 6 months just to take the free welcome bonus. Yeah. You can refer your partner to a card. You can get the referral fee back. You can take advantage of the transfer bonuses. And then just understand that every dollar you spend on this earth needs to go through a credit card. Yeah. And it's always about which one.
Yes.
So the reason we hold a bunch is because the multipliers are different.
Right.
The Cobalt card we have, Amex Canada, is 5x on groceries and food.
Yeah.
So when we go to restaurants, groceries, you use that one.
100%.
Right. And the gold is like a 2x on travel. We also have the black card Aeroplan Amex is a 3x on flight bookings.
Gotcha.
So you got to know like, what are you spending?
Yeah.
Then you know what card to put it on.
Do you guys have like a chart of every single card? Like
some people do a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I would say mine's largely in my head, but yeah, Amber keeps track of a lot of this. Spendings, when we got the card, when we should probably cancel it, should we keep it? Some of these are keeper cards. You mentioned the Platinum earlier. That's like my keeper card because it gives me lounges around the world in every airport. It gives me access to all kinds of bonuses and stuff. So it's like, and I can refer people to it. So it's like, it's my workhorse. Yeah. And I get to generate a lot of travel from it. And then I think the Cobalt, I'll probably take it to the grave too, just because the 5X on the groceries. Like that got me overwater villa in the Maldives for free in the middle of the pandemic, just by harnessing the points I generated on the Cobalt card. And then I had enough points to pay for the Al Maha in Dubai, which is like a luxury desert escape where you can do like sunset camel rides and archery and 4x4ing and falconry. And it was easily one of the most epic places I've ever been to. Yeah. It was the full meal deal. It was a lot of fun.
So what gave you the travel bug originally? What I think you mentioned before, during one of the times I was coming to see you in your clinic, that kind of Amber was a bit of a traveler before you. And then that kind of just got you intrigued and wanting to see more things. And you guys just keep knocking off more and more countries every single year. And
crazy.
You're over 90 countries now?
Yeah, I just hit like, I think 93 on this last trip when we went to Cyprus.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty special. So back, we ran the clock back to like pre-2015 before I graduated and became a doctor. I'd been to like 4 countries. Yeah. It was like Mexico, Nicaragua, randomly for a school trip, and then Canada, USA.
Nicaragua, nice.
That was it. That was my first true international in 2012. It was like a Doctors Without Borders thing. Yeah. Part of our first year in the summer when we weren't in school, you could go help out in Nicaragua.
Sweet.
It's just the communities and families that needed it. And I got to stay with a homestay. So that was kind of like my first taste of there's a whole different world out there.
Yeah, you got some culture involved in there, right? Living with the families, hanging out with them.
It was crazy. Yeah. It was like blackouts every day. The power kept going out. I had to have a bucket shower. I was basically sleeping in like a cement room with spiders, mice, and all kinds of critters running around. There was all the farm animals out back waking me up every morning. Like it was raw, it was rugged, but it was great because it shook me up a little bit. And then I realized coming home, we didn't have too much to complain about.
Yeah, it probably gives you a complete appreciation for what you have here. Like we do have it pretty good. A lot of people are like, oh, this is so hard to live right now. It's like, yeah, well, if you get a cut from a nail, you're going to live. You're not going to die from a small infection from something, right? Yeah. Yeah. One of my best friends is actually, his family's from Nicaragua.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he's went back there, I think twice now, and he loves it. He says he surfed, hung out with some of his relatives, says he wants to go back more and more. And like, I hope I can join him on one of those trips.
We'll check it out sometime. Yeah. There's a good surfing spot. We went in the south called San Juan del Sur on the Costa Rican border. And we just like lived in a kind of a jungle tree kind of set up on the beach. And it was great. Yeah. Good food. It was actually run by Europeans. And then you'd be steps from the beach. So that was my first taste. But really what started is when I started dating Amber in like 2017, she'd already been in practice for like 3-4 years. So she started making money and was starting to travel. Yep. And then when I started dating her, she's like, come travel the world with me. And I was like, okay. And much like anyone listening to this, if they've ever first booked like an international trip, like it's nerve wracking because you're like, where am I going? This costs so much.
Yeah.
I got to take 2 weeks off work. I'm not making as much money as I'd like right now. It's just like a crazy commitment to make
It is.
when you're just starting out. And I was like 3 years into practice, like still trying to clear debt, still trying to make a name for myself. And I'm like, you want me to go halfway around the world and spend all this money? I'm glad she kind of just nudged me to do it though, because a lot of people would hesitate and not pull the trigger on it. So she definitely pushed me to do that. And I'm so glad she did, because then Athens was my true like taste that, oh my God, there's more of this.
Yeah.
And this is fun and this is incredible. And then we went to the islands. We went to Eos.
You went to Eos? That's actually a place.
Santorini and Crete and Eos. It was awesome.
That's a place that a couple of my friends went to when we were like 18 or 19 and I couldn't go. I had just started a new job and they hung out on the beach. I think they stayed in a hut for, I don't know, $19 a day. Everything was super cheap. They hung out there. And they came back and they're just like, their minds were open to the rest of the world, right? There's not just Vancouver and the Lower Mainland. There's so many other beautiful places to see. Like I've only ever been to Mexico a bunch. I've been to Hawaii, but I think now where I'm at in my career and my stage of life, I want to go see some other parts in the world too.
Definitely should, man.
Yeah. Do you have like a top place, top 5? Like what are the places that you've been to that you know that you need to go back to?
Yeah, that's a good one. And funny enough, since we've been talking about Cyprus a couple of times, definitely need to go back there because it was a pleasant surprise. It's a huge island and there's lots to see. And we only saw definitely like a chunk of it. Yeah. So but on a broader spectrum, I get asked this all the time, where's the one place? I talk more in regions. Hard. I talk more in regions now because I've been to a lot of the regions and various countries within them. But if I had to just pick a spot right now to kind of punch out, go retire, go live, or maybe go do my second career, whatever that ends up being, I do like the south of France and anything on the Mediterranean and Europe. I think it's just amazing. The culture, the weather, the food, the beaches, the history, the art. It kind of has almost everything. I know nowhere has everything. You know what I've learned with travel is nowhere has exactly everything you want and need. Yeah. There's always like something it might be missing, but this place comes close.
Interesting.
Awfully close. So, and I know a lot of people be like, did you really just say France? And I say yes. But if you're based in France only on your trip to Paris, you'll be, I think, disappointed because as great as Paris is, France has a whole lot more to offer. And so that's why I'm glad I've been to the country a few times to see like, you know, we went to the inland and they have like these amazing lavender fields and these like amazing gorges and rivers and cold plunge areas. Yeah. And then they got like the beach and the palm trees. And then of course they have all these museums and your Paris type stuff. So France, pretty good in the south, but really anywhere on the Mediterranean. That could be Spain, that could be France, it could be Italy, it could be Greece. We went to Albania this summer and it was incredible. Some of the best water, and that road trip up and down the coast was awesome. So I've been extensively through the Med, and so region wise, I'd probably say the Med. Yeah. Wow. Now, as far as like culture and just pure shock that I've fallen in love with would be the Arab world. Okay. So anywhere from North Africa to the Middle East has been some of my most fun, memorable trips. I might have been an Arab in a past life or something because I just like it so much. Like first time we got to Morocco and it's like there's just chaos with the traffic and this guy just like yelling in Arabic out the window and, you know, camels on the side of the road and then the sun just beating you down. And I don't know, there's just something about it that I fell in love with. And so every time we go to an Arab world country or the Middle East, I'm just like, hell yeah. So that includes all three, Tunisia, Egypt, Jordan, and then the Gulf countries. Gulf countries I like because I think they're some of the safest and misunderstood in the world. Okay. As a kid, we were growing up to like, don't go there. It's dangerous. Yeah. Like, you know. That's definitely a fear I have. Like if I'm thinking of traveling, I want to know that I'm going to be safe. Yeah. And like if I was younger, if I'm 18 to 20, like you don't have a lot to lose. You're young. Like people go to Thailand and you hear some horror stories even there, which gave me some reservation about ever even going there. But and like now I want to, you know, I've got a business, I've got my family. Like I want to make sure that I'm safe. Yeah. I got people depending on me. I got bills to pay. Yeah. The game's changed a little bit. So that's why I say that's such a misunderstood region because people are like, really? Like, what do you mean? And I'm like, look at the safety index through the Gulf countries specifically would be like your UAE, your Oman, your Qatar, your Bahrain, Saudi, up to Kuwait. Yeah. Like the murder, the muggings, the theft, like it's all lowest in the world through there. And people don't get that. And I'm like, it's super. Someone sent me something the other day. They're like, Canada dropped visa requirements for Qatari nationals. And they're like, what do you think about this? And I'm like, it's fine. Makes sense. I'm like, I don't see an issue with it. They're like some of the smartest, nicest, most affluent, like least troublesome people I've ever met.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you care if they don't have a visa requirement to come here now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, honestly, there's only a few million in that country, and actual Qatari nationals is like less than 1 million. So I don't see a problem.
Yeah.
But just, you see these headlines, and when people don't know because they've never been there, it stirs them up.
Of course.
And they're like, oh, well, Canada just opened the floodgates to like dangerous people. I'm like, no, they didn't. I'm like, not at all, actually.
Yeah. And headlines are headlines. It's
Yeah.
never going to be like, man rescues dog from river.
Totally.
It's going to be, oh, bombing over here, killing somebody important. It's
Fires
always
in Hong
negative.
Kong the other day.
Oh, really?
A bunch of people died. Oh, yeah, there's all these headlines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to stay out of the news, man.
Well,
Ignorance is bliss with a lot of that stuff for me.
It is. It is. I'm probably doing maybe a touch more doom scrolling than I should these days. It's harder for me though too, not that it's an excuse, but the people I see face to face, they're from all over the world.
Yeah.
So part of me connecting with them is like, maybe I've been there.
Yeah.
Or maybe I know something going on in their country that like could be impacting them.
Yeah.
And so it kind of like comes up
For
as
sure.
part of my interactions with people from around the world, because if anyone knows anything about Vancouver, it's like people are from everywhere here.
Everywhere.
I swear I might be the only kid born here sometimes. Like when I talk to people, I'm like, just in our elevator, nobody speaks English. Our tower is like mostly foreign. And so that's part of my life too, is like they're always feeling for their country, because a lot of them have escaped or left
Absolutely.
maybe a bad situation.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. My barber, he's from Afghanistan.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's very interesting learning about his life. A lot of his family's still over there. He got out, I think about a decade ago, and he's pretty happy here. I never really thought about that for you. Your travel around the world has probably made it really easy to connect with other people around here.
Dude.
Like you're
If I could
so
give
worldly.
anyone a tip, it's like travel, because you can connect and build rapport with people like that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And a lot of them will call me on it too. Like one time I told a girl, because she's from Kosovo, and I was like, well, I was there last year. And she was like, what? And then she went home and told her dad, and her dad was like, oh no, he didn't actually go there. He was just saying that to be nice and to connect with you. And then the next time she was in it, like I pulled out my phone and I showed all the pictures, and I'm like, send them one of these.
Yeah.
And then they were just blown away, because a lot of people come from places where people can't even pinpoint on a map.
Right.
And she's like, not only do you know where it is, but you've actually been there. I had a couple from Sri Lanka too, and I was telling them all how lovely it was, and they were like, "You've been to my country?" It was just like, dude, the energy shift is palpable every time this happens.
Yeah, it creates a little bit of a bond between you.
It does, and I don't do it to boast that I'm like, oh, I'm special because I travel the world. I do it more to like connect with them deeper, and it works unbelievable, because they're like, wow, like a cultured doctor, someone that actually does something else.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with being an amazing physician, but I try not to be too one-dimensional either, right? And that's part of this travel thing, is like, it's just fueled me to work harder so I can travel more, but then I connect with people better, and I learn and become a storyteller from all the experiences. And it's so much more rich than just the same old rinse repeat, day by day, year by year, right?
Yeah, and I think that's just like natural human nature. We trust and we want to talk more with people that are either like-minded or had the same experience from us in the past as well.
Yep.
Yeah, so that must really translate well into your
Huge.
practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll ask them more about it, learn more about it. Oh, if I were to go back, or maybe I'm going somewhere that they're from and I haven't been there yet, where would I go? And then you can see their eyes light up, and they start telling you, oh, go to this place, go to that place. Like, I'll let so-and-so know you're coming, or go to this restaurant. And you wouldn't believe how that then further enhances your experience when you get there.
Yeah, that's so cool. There's nothing like a tip from somebody that's
I got
already
a
been
guide. Yeah, I got a guide. I'll hook you up with someone. It's like, it's changed our world.
That's so cool.
And then when you talk about safety and doing it right, it's like right off the bat, you know you're in good hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you land somewhere weird, and it's like, well, no, like my patient helped arrange this. We went to Iraq earlier this year, and people thought we were effing nuts.
Yes.
They were like, are you insane?
Yeah,
like,
why are you doing this?
There's
why are
a
you risking
war
yourself?
zone right beside it. Like, and shit can hit the fan at any moment. And we have a patient who's born and raised there, and she's like, I'll call my sister. Called her sister, and she's like, you're good.
Yeah.
And she's like, show me the itinerary that you're considering. And then she made a few tweaks for us.
Wow.
And she's like, go with this guy. He's good. You'll be safe. How many issues we had? Zero. And what do you think? Do you think they were welcoming and warm to very few of the tourists that they have coming there? Of course. Like, they have minimal tourism right now. It's a misunderstood place. Obviously, it's like, you know, it's rubble. It's been bombed out. There's been like 3 or 4 major wars in the last 30 or 40 years. And so it needs some work, but they were more than welcoming and accommodating and just happy to have anybody come through. So when they heard we were Canadian, that always helps too.
That always helps.
That
Yeah.
always helps.
I heard if you're ever traveling, throw a Canada patch on your backpack.
I know, because guess where everyone guess we're from?
Yeah.
U.S.
Yeah, exactly.
Constantly. They're always like, you're from America. I'm like, no, I'm from Canada. And then the guard comes down. But you're right. I probably should have like a maple leaf or something on my bag because I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I want to go back, kind of shift the topic here. What got you into the medical world? What kind of inspired you to become a naturopath?
Yeah, so it was through my own health struggles.
Yeah? Okay.
I went back to, this is 20 years ago now, early 20s. And I was frustrated with the system. I wasn't getting the answers I wanted. And you just get ping-ponged around and specialist to specialist. I had a lot of chronic pain and injuries from sports.
Okay.
And it was, do this x-ray, do this bone scan, take this painkiller, maybe do a cortisone shot. But there was nobody like really helping.
And those
me
aren't fixes
fix
either.
it.
Yeah.
No, I was looking for a little bit more than that as opposed to like just deal with it.
Yeah.
And then my mom and dad thankfully had been seeing naturopathic doctors for a few years working on their health. So I'll start by saying I come from a household that's, pretty well educated on the alternative side of things.
Okay.
I had a mom that had a bookshelf full of like, healing with whole foods and, alternative medicine, Chinese medicine, acupuncture, like that kind of stuff where that was welcome in our household. It was like, how can we help ourselves without drugs and surgery? Not that those are bad, but it was just, that was like an open-minded kind of way.
It should be where anybody starts, right? Like realistically, the food that we put into our bodies is our first medicine.
All of that.
Yeah.
And so I was fortunate to come from that environment, and my mom being a great cook, and just, she was always flooding her mind with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so they'd been seeing NDs, and my mom saw I was struggling, and she was like, go talk to this guy. He put a sports med ad in the paper about like pain and injuries. And so I was like, I got nothing to lose. So I went and talked to Dr. Jamie Gallant, who ended up being a great friend, mentor, and got me into the profession because he took me under his wing for about 6 or so years.
Okay.
Helped me reverse a lot of my injuries. And I just continued to see him for other health stuff, immune stuff, digestion, etc. And then he turned to me, and I was maybe 24, 25 at the time. So I've been with him like 4 or 5 years, and he was like, you should go back to school and become a doctor.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. And it's easy because, and I don't want to speak for everyone, but for me, like there was some self-limiting beliefs around it where I was like, am I smart enough to be a doctor? I'm just a punk from Langley. Like what business do I have going to medical school? I never had good grades. I'm not. So there was like some of that, but when someone you looked up to as a role model that helped you so much turned to you and said, you should go back to school, you'd make a good doctor one day. Like that hit me kind of at the perfect time where I was like, wow. Like one of my mentors and someone I looked up to really believes in me, where maybe I didn't believe in myself as much in that moment. But then I turned to him and said, I'm going to go home and look at the curriculum. Give me a few minutes here. And then by the time I got home, I went on the website. I looked at the curriculum. It was all the stuff I wanted. It was like nutrition and needling and gut health and immune and hormones, and Chinese medicine was thrown in there. It was just herbal medicine. It was like all this awesome stuff that I was already into, a lot of it.
That's I think the biggest key.
Yeah.
He probably felt your energy and passion and wanting to a willingness and an eagerness to learn more and more and more about what you were dealing with and how to actually take care of it. Whereas a lot of people are looking for a quick fix, right? They're like, prescribe me this, get one physio treatment. I think I'm going to be better, or I'll go there 5 times a week and I'm never going to do anything back at home. But like I had my good friend Jasub Jarquin on the podcast a couple weeks ago. He's a physiotherapist, and he's like, it is what people do outside of the clinic that is going to matter more than what I do with them on a daily basis in 100%. The clinic. Yeah.
That's the same way with me. Like, I'll hold and, walk you along this journey, but then you got to do your 50%.
Yeah.
And that's what happens outside the treatment room and in the day-to-day and the lifestyle. But yeah, he kind of pushed me. And then I was like, I looked at the curriculum, I called him up and I said, I'm going to apply. And he says, you'll make a great doctor one day. I'm happy to write a referral letter for you. And then I had to get a couple other referral letters together. Whole process was pretty grueling, but absolutely worth it. Then it was 4 years full time on top of a medical, that was a medical degree on top of like a basic degree from SFU.
Yeah.
And then after that, graduated at 30 as a doctor.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was originally my own health struggles, frustration with the system. And then once I sorted my stuff out, I was like, I want to learn these tools to bring them to the masses.
Yes.
So that's really been my whole crusade over the last 10 years here.
And then now you've been able to help out probably thousands of people.
Oh yeah. 5,000 to 10,000 easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put 5,000 on my profile years ago. So it's definitely a lot higher than that now. And that's it, man. Just finding solutions for their health. Because a lot of people would say, what the heck is an ND?
Yeah.
What's a naturopathic doctor? The trouble with our medicine in our degree and the name is it's confusing to people. Like everybody knows what a dentist does, clean teeth.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what a chiropractor does, right?
Yeah.
Crack bones. And then, but when you're like a naturopathic doctor, like what? It's not really clear. So I remember in our 4th year, our business class, the guy was like, you better get good at describing what you do.
Yes.
Because nobody's going to know what the hell you do.
Yeah.
But you know what I come to realize is like all people really care about is like, can you help me?
Yeah, for sure.
At the end of the day. Same thing for you, right? Like, can you help me find a home?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, can I help them with their health? And the answer is yes. But then it goes a little bit deeper. But my elevator pitch is like, I find solutions for your health problems.
Yeah.
We do it our best to keep you away from drugs and surgery in a more natural way.
Love that.
And then we all have our focus.
Yeah.
Like one ND might be into like hormones and women's health, and I'm more into like gut stuff, immune, sports medicine, nutrient deficiencies kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to find solutions to health problems that don't involve the standard playbook that a lot of people get trapped in.
Yeah. And like, it's great that we have medical care in Canada. You know, you can go for surgery. You're not going to have to pay for it, but the timelines, the waiting,
Brutal.
the processes, the system's definitely broken. And it's heartbreaking to see. Like, a lot of friends of mine have gone the nursing route, and a lot of them are exiting. They're just like, it's too much. We're overworked. We're underappreciated. They don't feel safe in certain hospitals, everything like that. So I think naturopath doctors are more needed than ever. Like, I remember, I think I was 32 and I tried to go get a physical, and my doctor's like, no, come back in 5 years. And I'm like, I thought I was growing up like by the age 30, like I thought that was like old, and every single guy is supposed to go for a physical, you know, get their prostate checked and everything else like that. I went back last year after waiting 2 years to see my doctor. I got the appointment. I said it was for a physical. I go in there and he's like, I'm not giving you a physical. You look healthy. You're successful. You don't need me. I'm like, what does my success have to do with anything? He's like, you look good. Like you've got your life sorted out. I'm like, I still want a physical, man. And he denied it.
Totally.
And I left. I wasted his time, my time, his staff's time, everybody's time. Like it was mind blowing. And that really kind of was a shock to me to see how bad things are. Yeah.
I think that leads into exactly what I was going to say a second ago, where that's just sick care. And we're healthcare. Yes. So another way to draw the line when people are like, well, what makes you different from a medical doctor? I'm like, well, what they're doing is sick care. Yeah. And we're doing healthcare. And healthcare is so much different because it's proactive. We're preventative. Yeah. Where they're just reactive. Yes. And people are sick. Absolutely. So it's almost like they waited too long. So in your case, instead of just doing routine blood work and routine physicals on a healthy person, they wait for you to crawl in with terrible symptoms before they start to examine what the hell's going on. Yeah. I used to blame them a lot for it, but now I just realize you're right. They're overrun. There's not enough. Yeah. So it's a numbers issue. And so they're like, well, I don't have time to do physicals on healthy people. I have too many sick people to look after. So that's definitely been a bit of a swap. And they're just kind of like at the mercy of the system in a little bit. Yeah. And it technically might not be just that person too. Like they have a standardized operating procedure that they have to follow and go by. Yeah. And they can't deviate it from, because then it's malpractice. They can get a lawsuit, everything like that. Yeah. A big one is running blood work for no reason. Yeah. They're very sensitive. I used to get pissed at that too, where I'm like, run it on every 30-year-old. But it's like, if you don't have a indication for it, because the patient doesn't have an assigned symptoms suspicion. Yeah. Then you're not supposed to, because it's taxpayer dollars. So I get all that. There's like a delicate dance and shuffle. Yeah. But regardless, because of all that, people are coming in more and more now. So we're filling such an important role, because people are like, I can't get in to see my doctor for 3 or 4 weeks, or I don't have a doctor. Yeah. Or they won't run the test. So they end up in my office anyway, and they're like, can we just do full panels? Can we do a physical? I got guys that come to see me for like DREs and rectal exams, because like these basic physical exams are just like not getting done anymore. Yeah. The sticky part for us, though, is we can't refer to specialists, so that puts a little bit of a bind in things. But as far as like basic stuff, like check a blood pressure, listen to a heart, run some blood work on people, do all the testing and assessing, like that's what I do. Like that's the bread and butter. Yeah, and like I can't recommend it enough. Like everybody, go get your blood work done. Like if something's feeling a little off, or if you just want to know a baseline, say if you're feeling great, go and get your blood work done for a baseline. If things ever shift in your future in your health and you're not feeling like yourself, then you can at least have a reference point. Then you can look back on something and see, what was I when I was feeling great? Yeah. Yeah. So I recommend, back to your 30-year-old that doesn't, not able to get blood work in the system, like at least establish a baseline.
Yep.
And then, you know, if you're feeling great every couple of years, and then by the time you hit 40, it's maybe more like yearly. But those should be in place. And our system is terrible at this.
Yeah.
You have to beat your doctor's door down in this society right now to get blood work done. They're not just going to call you, hey, it's been a year, let's do another panel. They will simply not do that because they're just way overrun. So this won't happen. So it's like you helping you, and you use a team of medical supports around you, which I'm really big on too. People should have a chiro, a physio, a massage, an ND, a medical doctor, like spokes of a wheel. There should be a whole bunch of people supporting you.
Yeah.
And a lot of these medical doctors get their backup where they're like, well, you're seeing a naturopath? They're like, I don't condone that. Like, I'm not going to see you anymore. And it's like, but you refer them to physio when it's okay. So again, I won't say all medical doctors are like that, but it creates a really weird dynamic for people, and people are just trying to help themselves. Yeah. And sometimes they get stonewalled for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I come and see you fairly frequently. Let's say I do an IV drip once a month. Sometimes if I've been sick recently, I'll come in more frequent. It's been everything that you've done with me over the last 4 years has been to really kind of thrive. Like I consider myself a pretty healthy person, but there's some of us that really just want to kind of live life a little bit better, a little bit above the norm, you know, work out hard, recover proper. And a big thing that you've helped me with is like, you know, I have a history of concussions, and we got my blood work done. Everything looked okay, but we then ran testosterone, and it was just in the trash. Yeah. Like my testosterone was non-existent, like 90-year-old man.
Pretty low.
So we went the natural route with, you know, Tonkat Ali, Fedosia agrestis, making sure I have enough vitamin D, everything like that. And then I think it's been a couple months now I've been on TRT, and I feel like my energy levels are getting back up to a good, normal, healthy level. And that's helping me out with all aspects of life. Like I literally 2 weeks into it, I felt like I was walking taller again.
Yeah. So it made a huge difference right away.
Yeah, it did. It was kind of an interesting time, right? I think it was 2.5 weeks on it. And then I had my nose surgery. So then you're throwing antibiotics into the mix. Your nose is recovering for a month. Like I'm just 1 month post-surgery now. But right away in the gym felt a little bit better. My energy levels throughout the day were more steady. Less brain fog too, I think I found. So it's been really, really good. And it's so funny in the real estate industry. It seems like everybody knows of Dr. Drew. Yeah, because I think a lot of realtors, we're empaths. We carry the stress of our clients on a day-to-day basis. So a lot of people are, you know, going in, getting their cortisol checked with you, making sure their stress levels are okay. And
hormones.
Yeah, hormones, everything.
I have a ton of real estate agents that come see me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone kind of knows everybody.
Anytime I do a story that I'm getting a drip with you, like they're just like, I know Dr. Drew. I've known him for years. Yeah. Maybe that's a Langley connection though too, because that's where you grew up.
Yeah, it started with a good friend of mine, Caesar. He's a trainer out in Langley, and he trains a lot of real estate agents.
Yeah,
so does. I would say when I was about 5 years in, this was back in 2020 pandemic, that guy helped me a ton. Yeah. Because he just let everyone know about me. I can't thank him enough. So he's been a great connection. He's kind of what got the ball rolling in the real estate world, and then it just from there. Yeah. 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 Funny.
Yeah, that's super interesting, man. So what excites you about your industry right now? What are you taking from that last event that you're going to be putting into your practice now? I'm really interested in the Achilles stuff. Like what was going on with that? What was the discussion around recovery and repair for that?
Yeah. So, I mean, you got two things with Achilles. You got the rupture and then the surgical repair, or not in some cases, depending on age, they might just boot the person, but say it's someone that's going to get it repaired. There's that. And then there's also just your Achilles tendonitis, but it talked about a lot of stuff like rehab based, like, you know, various eccentric protocols, how to load the tissue properly without overloading it, graded exposure. He had a whole section on like the mental, emotional aspects about this.
Absolutely. Huge.
Because when it comes to injuries, that's a big part where people can be like testing okay, the scans look okay, the tissue's healed, but there's such massive hesitation. The pain pathways haven't settled. They're still sensitized. He had a really cool case study of a dancer who was like back to 90%, but they weren't dancing. So by everyone's account, they're better, but not resolved. And I think that's a key distinguishing factor for a lot of people, because when you're going through an injury, it's easy for someone to be like, well, you're doing so much better than you were 6 months ago. It's like, well, I'm a professional dancer and I'm not dancing. So yes, I can walk. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can do that. I'm back doing 90% of things, but like the thing that make that person money was not happening. So he had a really expansive breakdown of like all the mental emotional stuff they had to get through, all the kind of rehab stuff they were doing with her. And it was interesting. And then he went through all the latest greatest, which again, I'm privy to most of it. Like talked about laser and shockwave. PEMF is big. I almost actually bought one. A lot of people are doing PEMF mats around here.
Yep.
Pulsed electromagnetic frequency. And so they had a really handheld device they were using for all kinds of issues. So you could get one that would wrap around the knee in the case of like sprains, strains, tears, pre-surgery, post-surgery, meniscus stuff, that sort of thing. So that one kind of caught my eye. So that was one of the treatments they were suggesting for the Achilles. They had a whole bunch of stuff on PRP and Prolo, which I was surprised to see Prolo getting mentioned as much as it was there, but it's finally coming around. But yeah, that's stuff that I've kind of been doing for years.
What is prolotherapy? I've never tried it.
It's a sugar water injection at a simple level.
Yeah.
Most people have heard of cortisone, which is a suppressive corticosteroid.
Yeah.
So what that'll do, I'll just distinguish the two because most people have heard of cortisone. Cortisone will shut down inflammation and pain. And swelling. Yeah. So people will blast that into joints and tendons if there's like a chronic issue. That's the medical world though. That's kind of like their primary injection if they're going to do something. Yeah. Whereas if you look at prolotherapy, it's a proliferant and it's a little bit of dextrose, a little bit of a numbing solution. So it'll have either procaine or lidocaine in it. You inject that to where the damaged tissue is and it kickstarts a healing reaction. That micro amount of dextrose or glucose in there is like an irritant. So it helps with blood flow and healing and circulation, and growth factors will flood the area. Collagen deposition will improve and lay down and strengthen the tissue. So say you have a tendonitis, partial tear, ligament sprain, you just inject where it hurts and that kickstarts a healing reaction. So it's using the body's natural healing mechanisms to tighten ligaments back up, heal muscles, heal tendons. Yeah. And dextrose also dampens pain. Yeah. So it dampens the pain receptors and it shuts it down. So it's a regenerative injection, which is a bigger term for 3 different ones. So Prolo's at the bottom, PRP's in the middle, and then stem cells are up top. Yeah. So the injection and delivery looks the same for all of them. It just depends what you're shooting. Yeah. So that's it.
It's such an interesting time for health right now. You know, there's all these talks about the GLP-1s. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of good, bad, and indifferent. It seems like it's across all celebrities. Amy Schumer came out the other day really saying it was a life-changing thing for her. She's lost a bunch of weight. She kind of came back out public, and she's definitely looking thinner, and she's feeling great. What's your opinion on that stuff? What kind of a client do you think should go that route? Are you against it? Are you for it? What's your thoughts?
I used to have a lot of thoughts. And still do. Yeah. But previously I was very against. Yep. I think it was new. I was seeing bad side effects. Mm-hmm. I work in New West at a weight loss clinic. And so I see a lot of weight loss in that clinic, whether it's HCG, Ozempic. Now we're moving into Mounjaro a bit more. So at first I was like, I don't know a lot about this as a practitioner. And 2, I'm seeing a lot of side effects. So I was just like, kind of stayed away from it for years. And I know a lot of people were just going crazy with Ozempic. And now that I think Mounjaro has come out, and we also have a Generation 3 coming out soon, probably out next year, the Retatrutide. Yeah. Where tirzepatide is going to be your Mounjaro, which is kind of like your second generation, and semaglutide or Ozempic, which is your first gen. But yeah, Mounjaro to me lately has been looking way better and doing way better. Yeah. So where I kind of stayed away from him at first, and I would run Ozempic with a few people, and I just didn't like the side effect profile, the gut stuff, the nausea, the headaches, the malaise, just not good. You make the person feel terrible. It's like, why? Like terrible appetite and whatever. But with Mounjaro, I'm just seeing great weight loss at lower doses with way less side effects. And so tirzepatide, I'm kind of into for the right person. You were saying like, who should be on this? Yeah. If the person's not going to be active, exercise, and weight train, it's a bad idea.
That's what I wanted to go into, because everything that I've researched, learned about these GLP-1s like Ozempic, tirzepatide, it's the people that are not lifting weights in the gym are also at risk of losing a lot of muscle mass or bone density.
So both.
Yeah. I'm just going to let Leo out.
Yeah, sure. He's had enough.
I guess he's had enough. He probably wants his dinner.
He's like, you guys are boring.
He's clockwork for dinner time. Boomer's chilling. Check out his
I see his posture. Why is
he's as happy as a clam.
So yeah, the weight training, if you're going to do a GLP-1, whether it's Ozempic, Mounjaro, or I guess they're maybe even going to call this new one a GLP-3 because it works on 3 specific pathways.
That's what I heard, yeah.
You have to be training with weights to stimulate your muscle and preserve your muscle, because they were finding with a lot of people that were taking Ozempic, they'd lose, call it like 20 pounds a year or 30 pounds, whatever it is. But like 75% of that was muscle in some cases.
Yeah, they're doing the body scans, DEXA scans. They're seeing that sure you lost a ton of fat, but you're losing so much muscle at the same time, which is not a trade-off that's worth it for anybody.
You're going to be less lean after that if you lost more muscle than fat. So even though you're like backwards. The scale is down 20 pounds, but like 10 or 15 of that was muscle. So your metabolism's worse.
100%.
Worse.
Yeah.
And so that's where a lot of people are getting, the emaciated look on their face and weird kind of skinny fat bodies. It's because like there's no muscle to define it. So it's going to look different.
Yeah. And I think from my perspective, I think the people that maybe should consider it are ones that are like into health, nutrition, and things like that too. Because you need to make sure that you're eating enough. Like some people will go on these things and have 800 calories a day because they're just not hungry.
Starving.
You're getting no protein, no carbs, no healthy fats. Like you're killing your metabolism and your gut from the inside out, right?
Yeah. The people that do best on it are the ones that I don't have to chase for. Like they're getting their steps in, their weight training, they know how to eat properly.
Yeah.
They're overall just in a better, healthier metabolic state to begin with. So then if you want to use it to peel off 10 or 20, they're easy. Mm-hmm. And they have no side effects and they stay on low doses.
Right.
Versus people that are metabolically busted, not doing any of that lifestyle stuff, they're somehow on like 10, 12 and a half, 15 milligrams of this tirzepatide where I'm like, ooh. And longer term.
Yeah.
Now they're pushing into or someone's been on Ozempic for like 2+ years and I'm like, oof. So then I'm like, do you want to be on this forever?
Yeah.
But when someone's that far gone, it's like they can't get off it. So I'm using it in person that, like you said, is a bit more health conscious, not as much to lose, more microdosing, and it's just part of the plan, not the plan.
Yeah, because I don't think it would be a great long-term plan for everybody. I think it gives people an opportunity to maybe, stave off that hunger that's, embedded in their DNA. Because I think some people are just naturally more hungry than other people. I don't know if you follow Dr. Mike Israetel on YouTube at all.
RP guy.
Yeah. So his wife has always struggled with her weight her entire life. And she's on one of these medications and like she broke down crying on a podcast talking about how much it's helped her because her hunger drive is just off the charts all the time. And she said, if I pick up a weight in the day, my hunger levels double. So it's very interesting. And it's cool to see because she's probably doing it the right way. She's still making sure she's getting enough calories in the day. She's lifting weights. She's taking care of herself, her exercise. So I think it's life-changing for a lot of people, and I'm excited to see it out there. But there's definitely a huge stigma. There's a lot of judgment around the people that use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge, because I am seeing that. Some people are like, this is changing my life. This is incredible. They're like, this is better, this is better, this is better, this is better. I'm like, well, who am I to say with all the stigmas and negativity around it that that's a bad thing for that person? Like, it's actually making a massive difference. I think where the hangups come from is that we don't have enough long-term data to know.
No. Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen in 15, 20, 25 years when you look back on a cohort of people that have been using these drugs off and on for 5 or 10 years. I don't know. Because some people are like, well, what about, causes like tumors and thyroid problems and gastroparesis and like these rare but documented things. But I think that's like anything in medicine. There's like random stuff happens for no reason and it's rare.
Yeah, and it could be for a completely another reason too. And then tied in with that issue could just kind of expedite that and make it worse.
They were on that drug.
Yeah.
And is it from that? No. So that's where I think the data, like, it's going to take time to catch up. But as a peptide, because they're peptides, by the way, and people always throw this peptide word around and they're like, what's a peptide? I'm like, well, collagen's a peptide. Like Ozempic and Mounjaro's a peptide. And then you got BPC 157 and TB, and it just goes from there, right?
Yeah.
But it's not a drug, not a steroid, not a anabolic the way people hear.
Right.
They are chains of amino acids.
Yes.
That's what a peptide is. And it's sort of signaling molecules in the body is what they end up being.
Yeah, I think the average person listener might not even know what an amino acid is in the first place, right? So
it comes from protein.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But they just arrange these peptides with a certain specific sequence of amino acids, and that's what creates a peptide. Yeah. So when you eat a steak or chicken or fish or eggs, that's got all the 20 amino acids that your body needs in it.
Yeah, the full profile.
The full profile. And then your peptides are just chains of amino acids. So for anybody listening, there's your lesson.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on peptides? You seen it helping a lot of people right now?
Absolutely. I think they're the future of medicine. Obviously, we're seeing with these weight loss drugs because there was no weight loss drugs prior to that could touch these. Yeah. I always ask my pharmacist, I'm like, what else is there if I don't want to use this? And he's like, the stimulants from the last 20 or 30 years. Garbage.
Hydroxycut.
Yeah, that kind of crap, right? And they still exist. You can still do them, but people don't like them. feel weird, and then they don't work as well as these new ones. So you got these new weight loss drugs, which are peptides, and they're working awesome when done right. So it's all about minimum effective dose.
For sure.
And then you move over to the orthopedic world with your BPC 157 and TB 500, that Wolverine stack that just keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Seems to be working incredible. I've been using the TB with patients a year and a half now. It was Health Canada approved in the spring of 24. So
nice.
Pharmacies have access to it. They're getting raw materials in from Europe. They're starting to do it by oral and by injectable. So that's that's a huge change over the last year and a half. And then slowly but surely, hopefully more get screened by Health Canada and either approved or not.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, oh, give me TB and I want tesamorelin and ipamorelin and I want CJC 1290. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
I'm legally bound by my college not to get wrapped up in stuff that's not Health Canada approved. As much as I'd love to, that's research only stuff right now. So
that's how every company is marketing it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's great that Canada has at least approved something. It means that we're open-minded to it, and it is a start, and hopefully that keeps going in the right direction.
I think it will. It just take time like anything. So for the time being, most people are turning to these peptide websites, which I'll just throw a disclaimer out there. You better do your research if you're going to go down that road.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that they're pure, they're clean, they're third-party tested, and it is what it is. Because I have heard, it's not a lot, but I've heard a few people where stick yourself with something that's contaminated and it's not fun.
Yeah, you have no idea what it is. A buddy of mine in the States, he's got his hands on some Regenerative. He's going to be starting that, and he shared a TikTok link with me. And then, like, I'm rarely on TikTok. I do it to post just for my business or whatever. But then my entire feed, it starts coming up with all these people reviewing it, and I'm like, where are you getting this stuff from? And like, how bad is the black market for that?
Probably pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
My patient was showing me the other day because his buddy wants to start a peptide website and was like, oh, you can get this raw material from China. That's fine. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not, but it all has to be tested. I wouldn't just be grabbing it and shooting it.
And bringing that over here.
Risky.
Definitely.
So people are like, oh, I tried to order from this and it got caught at the border. I'm like, no kidding.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like Health Canada is not going to like that. Like, is anybody listening? Hello.
Yeah.
But that's what it's a wild west out there right now. Yeah. And then I asked my my patient there, I'm like, what is, the cops care? Does the government care? Does Health Canada care? And it's like, they probably do, but it's a gray area. So there's nothing like overtly illegal about it right now. Like you said, if they slap that for research only on there, it's kind of like, hey, I'm not responsible because I said it was for research only and not for human consumption, even though that's what everyone's doing. So it's a really weird world they're in right now. But yeah, those raw materials they're getting from China are like pennies on the dollar, and then they're just charging through the nose. So it's like extremely lucrative right now from what I can tell.
Yeah.
And for good reason. Because if you get a good, clean, quality product, like, there's a few pages I follow and it's like you start combing through this and you're like, this seems to be the future of medicine. I think this stuff's here to stay.
Yeah.
But as far as like aiding, abetting, and getting people all these ones that are not Health Canada approved, I'm a bit handcuffed right now, so I just have to leave it at that.
So TB 500 is approved?
No.
Oh, sorry. What was the one that is approved?
Just the BPC.
Oh, just BPC.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I talk to the pharmacies all the time and they're like, we have a submission to Health Canada.
Yeah.
It's like, but these take time.
It's interesting going back to touch on your trip to Germany and that event that you were at and how they were talking about the mental aspect of recovery. That's something that me and my physio, Jasub, talked about for a while as well, because he can have somebody back in the clinic. Everything looks healthy. They're doing these force plate testing where, they're checking how high they can jump, how quickly they're getting back up off the ground, and all their numbers can be perfect. But the mental aspect of getting somebody rehabbed and back into sport is its own separate thing. And he loves going and actually watching his people like transition back into the sport or whatever dance. He helps with them as well. So cool. So he's involved with the Vancouver Giants heavily. And so he'll treat people in the clinic and then he'll go to practices. He'll watch them at games and stuff. And he can kind of feel their confidence. And that's a huge part of recovery too, right? Because it's, for somebody that's playing professionally, imagine how hard that must be. Like, first of all, you love what you're doing. You're a part of a team. They could be relying on you. And for you to be taking off the field or the ice or the court and knowing that you can't have that positive impact on the people around you that you care about and your teammates, like that's got to be such a hurdle to get back and even stay motivated.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's crushing. And a lot of athletes, that's the exact struggle they go through.
Yeah.
I felt that a lot over this last year. I've been dealing with an injury, and it's not fun when, you get to move your body, express your body, sweat, run, jump, play, and then all of a sudden you can't.
Yes.
It messes with you.
It
And
does.
not because of the pain. Pain's like 1 or 2 out of 10, like who cares? Like that's nothing. I deal with aches and pains all the time. But when it's an injury and the pain's one thing, but then it's like the mental aspect that eats at you.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, how long will this be? Will I ever get back? I just want to do some basic stuff. You take things like walking in stairs for granted.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're thinking about it and you're like, this is weird. You know, you lose sleep, the stress and anxiety. I went through all that. And so those are things that I think very common for people to share when they're dealing with a rehab and an injury. And yeah, it's not the pain and like the discomfort in the area. It's all the other shit that comes with it.
Yeah. And you're scared to re-injure yourself as well.
That's the big one.
And then you
become
almost
a little hesitant.
100%. So for me, when I was rehabbing my knee last year with him, he was like, you're scared to push off that knee. So we did like a jumping off a box. We would step down, jump off both as high as you can. And then we went to step down and jump off one. And I didn't say anything, but he knew after my first jump, when I went down on the one leg on my right leg to jump back up, he could see that I was not pushing myself as hard as I should be going. He's like, you're fine. Like it's tendonitis at worst at this point, but like, you're not confident pushing off that like you should be.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah.
And the mind will play tricks on you and there'll be subconscious hesitations.
You can shift your body different ways.
So this
causes more injuries.
Athletes are really good at hiding stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, if you don't want to load your knee, well, you just like, you'll load something else. You'll just like sit back into your hips a bit more and take a bit more there.
Yeah.
Step a different way.
Yeah.
Won't push it as far forward to load it. Oh yeah. It's all these micro things that start to happen. And then you're right. You get other compensations, you get co-contractions. It's a wild world actually. And that was the thing at first when everyone was like, oh, how's it feeling? How's it feeling? I'm like, you should be asking like, how's this feeling?
Yeah,
literally. How's my sleep? How does the other side feel? It was like all this other stuff that came up from the initial thing. That was actually more troubling than the actual problem. So
yeah,
it's wild. Yeah. And that was something they touched on, like I said, a lot at that conference, because that's often missed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just like how's the injury, but like, how are you?
Yes.
Would be a better question.
Yeah. And that's what he talked about as well.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, okay, so you can't play the sport. You're not going to be going to practice and stuff like that. Go spend time with your friends that you don't see.
Yeah.
Go have that dinner with your family. Whereas usually, you know, it for high school athletes, for a lot of the Vancouver Giants, you know, it's 9 a.m. till 3 at school. Could be practice before, game after, like it's nonstop. So he's suggesting to people, making the recommendation that they go and fill their bucket in another way. And then like that will bring some other energy and positivity into their life too. Cause it's really a whole aspect to be healthy. It's mentally, physically, relationships. Yeah, exactly.
I posted something about this the other day. It was relationships and one other thing. It talked about like all the things that predict how long you'll live. Mm-hmm. And it had things on there like not smoke, not drink, eat well, exercise, and those all move the needle. Yeah. But the thing that moved the needle the most was like close community's everything. Friends, family, and relationships. Yeah. Those made the biggest difference. So it turns out like who you eat with is way more important than what you eat. Yeah. Because people are obsessing about all those other metrics where it was like loneliness and lack of community and lack of relationships will kill you faster than any amount of alcohol, smoking, and bad food will, which is a crazy thought because we know those destroy people as well. For sure. But it seems like loneliness hits a lot harder. Yeah, but like that person that might go to the bar every night for a beer or two with their friends could be in a better, healthy life than somebody that's sober, that never touches a cigarette in their life, anything like that. One of the coolest things that I enjoy about living in Boundary Bay in the summertime, Filipino families come here every single weekend. They start bringing all their stuff out. They start barbecuing at like 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning, and they spend the whole day together as a family. And like, I really appreciate that. I'm like, wow, they're a tight group knit. They're a really loving, caring family that's doing a lot together on like a steady routine every single weekend. You see a lot of the same families down here. So I'm wondering, like, has that opened your eyes in your travel too, to see other cultures and how they're thriving? Yeah. 100%. Every time I go to these places, I'm like, it's family, it's community, it's looking after each other first. I don't want to knock on the North American lifestyle, but I think we have it backwards here. Yeah. Because we're work first, we're capitalism, we're make money, and a lot of people have that gun to their head to make monthly payments just to stay afloat. And obviously other countries I've been to have that, but most don't. Like some do, but most don't. Most are just like, I care about my friends, I care about my family, my community, and they might not have a ton of money, but that like their priorities are maybe a bit more in order than ours.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that. There are definitely some places I've gone that are also just capitalism and workaholics and stuff. Like, but on the whole, most are the other way. Like Nicaragua, for example, where I talked about living at that homestay and that family. It was like they were some of the happiest people, and it's like most of them didn't have cell phones, most of them didn't have gym memberships, most of them didn't have a grocery store to go to. Like all the stuff we take for granted.
Yes.
And we'll go to all those things and complain about it.
Yeah, we do.
And find faults
Yeah.
within them. And it's like, they helped me realize like all that's a privilege.
Mhm.
And so I come home going like, we don't have much to bitch about. I went to Japan and I was like, we are just so fucking noisy in North America. I can't even stand it. Coming home from there after 2 very peaceful weeks,
Yeah.
it rocked me. Like that is the most populated city in the world. Although I just read that Jakarta may have overtaken them. Tokyo, the most populated city in the world. So like all of Canada in one city. How is it one of the quietest cities as well? It's
Yeah.
like, well, because people are like, they're peaceful, they're quiet, they don't yell, they don't talk loud. You can be in like the busiest subway or train station with like a bazillion people and it just flows smoothly.
That's so
And-
interesting. This is all mind blowing to me. I have no idea.
Or the order will blow your mind.
Yeah.
Whereas like, you know, we have an event downtown, a hockey game or whatever, and the SkyTrain's a
It's
mess.
chaos.
Like it's chaos.
Yeah.
That's every stop everywhere in Tokyo, and yet it somehow works. And then I got back to San Francisco on the way home from Japan. It was like right away, people yelling in the lounge, yapping on their phone, screaming across the bar. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, what is our deal? And
Yeah.
they would hand you a receipt in Japan. You could go to Starbucks for a coffee. They would hand it to you with 2 hands and like, thank you. And like a little bow. And you're just like, wow.
Super
some of the-
intentional.
Yeah, like the culture, the people, the hospitality, how well we were looked after. And then just that imprint it left on me with like, how peaceful, respectful they are. You're not allowed to honk a horn there. It's illegal.
Oh, I love that.
It
Let's
is
make that
really
in
good,
Canada.
man. Yeah. And then I've seen the opposite in videos in Delhi, India, where it's like they're on the horn the entire time. So Japan, man, right away, I'd be like, I'm coming back here. This is nice.
I literally
This
had
is
no
nice.
idea. Like, I think Japan, Tokyo, and maybe I'm completely wrong, but I think like bright lights and kind of chaos.
Bright lights, yes.
Yeah.
Tall skyscrapers, yes.
Yeah.
Tons of people. I mean, the Shinjuku Scramble is called a scramble for a reason because it's chaos. Each light change, that intersection, there's about 2,000 to 3,000 people on foot cross it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen
again,
some videos of that.
It's like you're either walking this way or that way or that way. There's about 5 or 6 different intersections crisscrossing. And yeah, man, not chaos. I'm telling you, it's peaceful. And no hustlers, no scammers, no one bothering you. Where a lot of countries you have to duck those guys. Like
Yeah.
they're just coming at you strong. I saw minimal homeless, next to no drugs.
Yeah.
There's a lot the world could learn from Japan.
Yeah. It sounds like
That
it.
one stands out. So when you ask your question earlier of like where are some like standout spots, and I was saying like the Mediterranean, Arab world, Middle East, and I would say Japan for sure is the standout in Asia for me so far.
Yeah. Some other
Yeah.
friends of mine went to Japan last Christmas or the Christmas before, and they're like, we need to go back. And like,
Yep.
I would love to go there at some point, but just, it's so mind blowing to me because I only get snippets. I get what's fed to me in social media or
Totally.
a random Google search. And when you see a photo of all those people crossing that street and whatever the downtown hub is there, like, I just assume chaos.
Yeah. You would have thought
Because-
it'd be a loud mess, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like I go into Steveston in the summer and it's Touristville, and like we're all going there to walk the boardwalk, grab a bite to eat, get dinner, and they have an intersection where you can crisscross instead of going, around the perimeter. And it is a madhouse. People don't know what the heck they're doing. They're confused by it, and it's absolute chaos. People are running into each other. Like it's just,
Yeah.
it's different.
That's North America. So different. And yeah, I just can't say enough good things about it. And there's a lot to see there. You got like Northern Islands where they have the snowiest place in the world. So
Yes.
the most annual snowfall in the world happens in this place called Sapporo, which is in Hokkaido, Japan. And apparently the skiing and snowboarding is out of this world. They have like hot springs and onsens and all this amazing stuff, ski mountain ranges and stuff. And then you got the south, which is more like Hawaii, like Okinawa for the beaches.
Yeah.
And then you got the main, like 3-4 islands. What an incredible place. Yeah, it was really, really good. So, I mean, you can go there any time of year and probably have fun.
It's so eye-opening to me. Like I literally didn't know Japan got snow until probably 10 years ago.
Yep.
I had no idea growing up.
I had a friend go there earlier this year and he goes, 4 feet in 3 days.
Yeah.
He said it just pukes snow. And I said, are you kidding me? Because I saw his videos and they were just like in powder.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I've looked in Japan a lot. It's really, really cool.
And then I see Whistler lineups when they opened up last week or a couple weeks ago. There's hardly any snow, and there's thousands of people there, and that's absolute madhouse.
Paying $200-300.
Oh yeah,
Come on, right?
the lift tickets there now are hundreds of dollars.
That's gotten totally out of hand. Because when I was a kid, it was like expensive but affordable, and now it's just getting nuts.
Yeah.
So that's why I would push people. I'm like, yeah, take a 8 or 10-hour flight over Japan and go there instead.
Yeah.
You get some culture. You go see some Japanese snow monkeys at the same time, and you can just see stuff that starts to blow your mind that you just won't get here.
That's one of the
These
coolest
like little
things.
guys. They're just super cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things that I've enjoyed about watching your stories and your travels is all the different animals that you see.
We do a lot of animal experiences.
And your fun facts are off the chain, man. It is wild, the knowledge that you spit on there.
It's the way to see it. I mean, you said earlier how you learn about these places through headlines and just like random stuff that's fed to you. And I truly have now seen and believe the only way to experience a country is go there.
You got to be there.
How are you going to know until you go there? So
Yeah.
the only way to learn about it, see it, figure out what's true is go there.
Yeah.
And so that's been absolutely true. But we always throw a lot of animals in as well. That's been awfully special. So we did like gorilla trekking years ago in Uganda, which is only 1,000 of these mountain gorillas left.
Oh.
The silverbacks are definitely endangered. They're trying to rehabilitate them.
Yeah.
Those are those 400-pound guys. So those were pretty special. We've done several safaris for the Big Five. We've done swimming with the sharks in South Africa.
That terrifies
Yeah,
me.
it was nuts. They put you in a cage and then they basically chum the water to draw great white sharks close to the cage. And I had my GoPro out, and you got to check your shorts after because it's like pretty crazy.
Yeah. I'd be terrified to
And
do that.
you're like sucking on chum water, and there's sharks coming at you. That was pretty crazy. Any other big? I've done a lot of camels, and then like I said, the Big Five. Definitely a lot of good safaris.
Yeah. I think a camel ride would be really cool. A lot of people say that experiencing an elephant in real life for the first time is almost like a life experience in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to an animal sanctuary in South Africa, and that was pretty special.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to walk with them. You'd hold their hand, but it was their trunk, and just walking with an elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a clip online, actually. Jackie Chan was in a movie 20, 30 years ago, and there was an elephant a part of the scene, and Jackie Chan goes into the water, and like it looks like he's drowning, and this elephant that he created a bond with just naturally picks him up out of the water and saves him. And he kept screwing up the scene over and over and over and over again because the elephant just wanted to be his friend and take care of him.
Nice.
Yeah, they're a special animal.
They're very cool.
I need to meet one.
Yeah. We did some of the, because there's the African elephant and the Asian elephant. And so we did the Asian ones in Sri Lanka, which was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to bathe them in the river.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a ton of them, and you could just like wash them and take pictures. So yeah, it's always good to throw an animal in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I tell everyone, like, you got to at least go to Africa once in your lifetime for that reason.
Right.
You can see them here in zoos, but let me tell you, watching them, their natural habitat, if they're stalking an animal or they're fresh off a kill, you will never forget that day, because it's a pretty special thing to encounter. 2 cheetahs with fresh kill, bellies full, blood all over them.
Yeah.
Two brothers just like skulking around in the Masai Mara of Kenya. I was like, whoa. Yeah.
Man, you've traveled to more countries than I can name.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. What a cool life, man.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun. I'm a nerd for it all of a sudden. Like I said, stuff I didn't think about before.
Yeah, you probably learned so much along the journey.
It, people say, well, like, why do you share so much of that? For a couple reasons. Like, one, to show people there's a whole world out there, and I'm encouraging you just like get the hell out of your city.
Yeah, you're not doing a brag. You're doing it to share and open up other people's eyes, right?
And also to kind of help dispel some of the myths and show you, like, hey, you've probably heard some stuff about this place, but here it is. I'm just going to film it and show you and talk a bit about it as I go. And then people are like, whoa, like I never knew I wanted to go there, and now I want to go there. I'm like, yeah, you should go check it out. It's pretty sweet. Because I found everywhere has something. It's always the attitude you bring it to, though. Of course.
Yes. Just
go with an open mind. And I've never had a bad time anywhere.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
That is something.
And it's like, 93 different spots of all these different cultures. But I put it on there to just share that with people and inspire them to maybe take that chance like I did the first time and just book it and go. Like, just go. I've also talked to a lot of people with, health issues over the years. People have all these grandiose ideas. Well, I'll go to Africa when I'm retired. And I'm like, you might not make it there.
100%.
And if you have any ability now, whether it's, physical and financial, to go do it.
Yes.
You should go do it, because then you have memories that last a lifetime.
Yeah.
There's a book called Die with Zero that my wife is obsessed with right now. And it talks about doing stuff earlier in your life, because then you have more years to draw upon the memories.
Right.
And so it's called a memory dividend.
Yeah.
Like anything, the earlier you start investing, the more it pays you like throughout your life.
Yep.
Same thing with a memory dividend. Like if you try and shelf all of that for when you're 50, 60, and 70, you only then have, 10, 20, 30 years of memories to enjoy. But if you do it throughout your life, you create this huge bank of memory dividends to draw back on. But it also, like I said earlier, like it helps me build rapport with people. Like you have a lot of things to talk to people about.
Endless.
Yeah, endless stories, endless facts. Like what you just learned about Japan there, you're like, I never knew that.
Yeah.
And I never knew that until I went there.
Mm.
And then when you're there, I do more research, right? It's like, now I'm in it. Now I'm on like the internet. Now I'm Googling. Now I'm reading the Wikipedia. Now I'm like, putting little blurbs in my story. That actually helps imprint it deeper too.
Yeah.
So this also goes back as a business tip I learned years ago. It's like, if you want to market yourself, the more you market the same topics over and over again, the better you'll retain it.
For sure.
The easier you can describe it to people, the more fluent you are when you talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's just because like you've researched it, you've posted about it, you've done it, you've experienced it. It's just like reinforced in so many ways.
Yeah. Like the best way to learn something is to teach it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then talk about it, and then show it, and then do it, and then like repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And then it's like it's yours.
Yeah.
So that's why I could sit here for hours and tell you intimate details about every trip.
Yeah.
Because I documented it and I researched about it and I did. So it's like so many good memories to draw on, and experiences.
Yeah. But you have like a beautiful, genuine curiosity
That's
about all
it.
these other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I've come to realize a lot of those fears I had about other cultures and people and ethnicities growing up, because I grew up in a city with not a lot of that.
Yeah.
That's like I just have been dispelling it all over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And the places I was told to fear the most, I love the most. Isn't that something?
That's wild to
Yeah.
think of, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been truly crazy, but the best form of everything. Because like I said, it fuels me in a way that I get back home and I'm like, I just want more.
Yeah. You want to go again.
I'm just gonna
What's
help.
the next
I'm
trip?
just gonna help more people and work harder.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a win-win
it's-
for literally everybody around you.
It's like a crazy motivator.
Yeah.
And I have some colleagues that are like, wow, like you travel so much and you post it online. Like I would never even post my like Mexico trip on my feed because I wouldn't want my patients to see it and think like, oh, I'm living the good life on the beach. And I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to show them what you do like outside of work?
Yeah.
It's only helped my business posting that on there in a crazy way. People just coming to see me ask about the trip.
Yeah, I bet. Well, every time
Like,
I come see you, I ask you.
My health's not bad, but I actually wanted to hear about that trip and like
Yeah,
how
want a
you did it
little
and who you
update.
booked it with and like, points and all. And it's like, so it's turned into a bunch of that for me too, where
Yeah.
they just want to come hear about it because it looked really cool. And that's it, man. It's been a really, really good time. So I encourage people like post a bit of that.
Yeah. I think we need to share more of our personal life. That was one thing that I kind of strayed away with social media. It was just real estate. And it's like, no, people want an opportunity to know who you actually are as a person. And we're always driven and pulled towards other people that have some similarities with us and interests.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you, back to what I was saying earlier, you don't want to be one dimensional. I mean, yeah, you can post majority real estate stuff. I follow this guy, Ryan McGinn, and he's one of the best at going viral. So he knows how to get videos like hundreds of millions of views.
Yeah.
And he talks about, he looks at your content bucket. He's like, 15 to 20% should be like your craft. And then like this 80% should be all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Like your day to day. Yeah. Other cool stuff you're doing, travels, hobbies.
Yeah.
Like he's like that actually gets eyes on you.
It does.
And then you slip in a little bit of the pitchy sales stuff once in a while and like the marketing. But he's like, he's actually flipped what most people were told. And I'm like, well, I've kind of naturally been doing that anyway. And it works so well.
Yeah, you definitely have.
Yeah. So you just come with a giving hand. I give away free health tips, information, stuff people might not know, but then I share the travel and the fitness.
Yeah, you do provide a lot of value on your Instagram page and your daily stories, which is incredible. So yeah, kudos to you on that too.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but I look at the 6 years I've been doing it hard because I kind of was just sick. I was about 3-4 years in and I was like, I am capable more. I can reach more people. I can help more people. I can do more. And I was pissed that I wasn't. So then I hired a business coach and he was like, just do Instagram stories. Yeah. And he gave me a framework for it. And it's never let me down 6 years later. Yeah. And it's helped me learn my material better, like I was saying, get it out to more people. Then if it's valuable, purposeful, shareable, they'll share it with people. Yeah. And it just keeps going around. And it builds your karma bank up so much because you're just giving away such goodwill.
Yes.
Because he's just like, just give. And then at the end of every video, just ask if they have a question or want to work with you to send you a message. And it's like, people are like, well, isn't that pushing in sales? And he's like, no, he's like, because you're just spilling all this free giveaway with no intention of any specific person coming to you. And then just saying, hey, if you got questions or want to work with me, let me know. It's like the simplest formula, and it works every time.
It does. That's like Gary Vaynerchuk in one of his first books. It was like jab, 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 hook.
That's it.
And the jab is providing value, and then opening up the door for an opportunity to potentially work together.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you give like that, it's a give, ask.
Yeah.
Give. So jab, hook, same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That formula, you can't go wrong. He actually took the email model and put it into stories. And so the first story is the subject line, trying to hook somebody in with a headline or a big idea. And then you maybe give away some free information. And then like the next, which is the body of the email. And then at the end of the email or the last slide, you'd say, if you want to work with me or buy this, just let me know.
Yeah.
Simple.
It is.
Yeah. And when you're consistent with it, like people notice.
Oh, it's all about consistency, man. If you're just trying this every now and then, it's never going to work.
No, just started doing that daily. And I was like, wow. Because he also pointed out that most people don't have their friends and family show up for them every day. So frick, imagine if you do. Like they're going to notice.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude, this has been great. I think we should wrap it up. This has been awesome.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate everything you've done for me with my health struggles and kind of getting me to the next level and feeling better with that. And I appreciate our friendship. I think you're a great dude.
Thanks
Love
so much,
following along your journey. This has been awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me, man.
Sweet.
It's been a pleasure.
Cheers.
Everybody.